you, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to this informative and exciting webinar, which is organized by Sympathy Institute of Homeopathic Pharmacy in collaboration with the renowned LSFPEF Homeopathic Medical College on the fascinating field of homeopathic pharmacy. So, my name is Dr. Imani Sharma, and I'm a registered physician, researcher, and postgraduate scholar in healthcare. I'm currently working as a clinical informatic analyst with the provincial health government in Canada, and I've completed my graduation in homeopathic medicine and surgery. So I welcome you all. So I have the privilege of being your host for today's webinar. So pharmaceutics is a critical branch of pharmacy that encompasses the science of designing, developing, and manufacturing the pharmaceutical drugs. It plays a pivotal role in ensuring the safe and effective delivery of medication to patients, ultimately improving their health and well-being. So today we have gathered here with a shared objective to delve into the world of pharmaceutics, explore the latest advancements, and to gain deep insights into the future of this field. Throughout this webinar, we will have the opportunity to explore a wide range of topics. I encourage one of you, to actively participate in the discussions, ask your questions, engage with our speaker. This webinar is designed to be interactive, and we really want you to create an environment that fosters the exchange of ideas and exploration of the new possibilities. Talking about the Sympathy Institute of Homeopathic Pharmacy, it's a renowned institution which is dedicated to homeopathic pharmacy education since 2009. It is the first homeopathic pharmacy college in Delhi. It is also having branches in Orissa and Maharashtra. So our collaborator for today today we are going to organize this webinar in collaboration with LSFPEF Homeopathic Medical College, Pune. We from Sympathy extend to all participants welcome for this event, and we thank Dr. Nandini Joshi, principal of LSFPEF Homeopathic Medical College, Pune, and college coordinator Dr. Khalabdar for your support and cooperation. Without your permission, this event would not have been possible. So we welcome you, Dr. Nandini Joshi, and I would like to request ma'am to say a few words for everyone.
If still with us.
Ma'am is there, so.
Don't worry, she will join.
Okay, we'll wait for her. Sure. So the purpose of this webinar is to share the knowledge of the understanding of the pharmaceutical aspects of homeopathic drug. And we all know the importance of quality of a drug. So only a good quality drug can give good results. And every month we are conducting such webinars on various topics of homeopathic pharmaceutics, link of which will be available on the webinar WhatsApp group, so that you don't miss any chance for these webinars in the future also. So in today's webinar, we will be able to understand how a drug is analyzed for quality and the test involved in such analysis. Like our topic for the today is the role of Drug and Cosmetic Act in homeopathy. So to share this knowledge, we have with us today Dr. MEGHA. So she is MD in homeopathic pharmacy from MUHS Maharashtra. She did her fellowship certificate in homeopathic dermatology from MUHS. She completed her BHMS from Rajasthan Ayurvedic University, Rajasthan. And she's working at Asian Institute of Medical Science, Faridabad, as a senior homeopathic consultant. She's having wonderful 3 years of working experience with Sympathy Institute of Homeopathic Pharmacy and Hospital as a vice principal. She got 1 year of experience at Baxons of Homeopathy and running Lifeline for Homeopathy Clinic at Faridabad since 2011. She is also trained in attending the HPL Ghaziabad on quality control of homeopathic drugs. We welcome you, ma'am. So without further delay, I would like to hand over this to you. And I really request everyone to listen very patiently. In case you have any query, any questions, they will be answered at the end of the webinar by ma'am. and you can post them in the chat box. So welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Himani Sharma, and thank you so much, Dr. R. Khan from Sympathy Institute, and thank you so much for PEF Homeopathy Medical College, Pune. I am Dr. MEGHA SAROTRI here to represent you my knowledge and to share my knowledge with you on the role of Drug and Cosmetic Act. Now, here I'm going to share my screen. So we can start.
Yeah. Continue, ma'am.
My screen is visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, our topic is the role of Drug and Cosmetic Act in Homeopathy 1940. I am Dr. MEGHA. I have to discuss this topic and share my views to all of you. So, for all, we all know in our running practice, we are using our homeopathic medicine since so many years, and every doctors, every practitioners is using homeopathy medicines, cosmetics, patents in our day-to-day life and a day-to-day, so there are certain guidelines about these, there are certain rules for this Drug and Cosmetic Act pharmacy, which we all have to know, or which we all have to understand about that. Okay, so being a student, I thought that for a first year student, pharmacy student, it is very important to understand what are the rules and regulations of homeopathy. Okay, and for practitioners also, there are certain guidelines which we have to follow, as per the HPI. So to start with my topic, I have to tell like first introduction. Now, homeopathy system of medicine is about 200-year old. Everybody we know that. In India, first time it was introduced and patronized by Raja Ranjit Singh in 19th century. In 1969, first time India got a legal status and it was introduced in Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. The Drug and Cosmetic Act regulate the certain features like import, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drug. The Homeopathy Acts and rules are formed by Subcommittee of Drug Technical Advisory Board, or we can say DTAB, the government analyst, the drug inspector, and import of homeopathy medicines are governed by the same rule as applicable for modern medicine. Modern medicines means the rules applicable for allopathic medicines as well. Further, the Drug and Cosmetic Act was passed in 1940, 10th April 1940, which a main object to regulate the import, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics. The Act regulates the import of drug into India so that the standard or spurious drug will find its way into the country. Spurious drug, later I'll tell you what are spurious drugs. Okay. The Act regulates the manufacturer by making provision and rules which provide control over manufacture of spurious or substandard drugs in the country. So, what is the legal definition of homeopathy medicine? Everybody knows what is homeopathy medicines, but here we have a legal definition of homeopathy medicine, which is prescribed in our books. Homeopathy medicines include any drug which is recorded in homeopathy proving or the therapeutic efficacy of which has been established through long clinical experiences as recorded in authoritative homeopathic literature of India and abroad, and which is prepared according to techniques of homeopathy pharmacy, but does not include a medicine which is administered by parenteral route. As we all know, what are the parenteral route? They are injections. Okay, so these are not included in these. Okay, and the oral route, olfaction route, all these routes are included in this. Now, the basic rule includes the quality of drugs. Basically, everybody is using every kind of drug. I'm not sharing the brand of any drug. We are using so many brands in our clinics, in our practice. So we don't know the quality. What is the quality of that drug? We don't know. But there are certain standards which are fixed by the Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia Laboratory, Ghaziabad, and every manufacturer or every industry have to follow that standards of the quality to ensure the quality of the homeopathy medicine. So likewise, the standard of quality in relation to drug compiled with standards set out in the second schedule. These medicines are comed in second schedule, and in standard to cosmetic compiled with such standard as may be prescribed. So our medicines covered in second schedule and our homeopathy medicines and cosmetics should uh, obey the rules of which are fixed by the HPI, the standard of quality. Now, standard to be followed. What are the standard which we have to be followed, or which we every manufacturer and industrialist, or who is going to prepare or who is going to make some certain medicines, they have to know the standards to be followed. Second schedule covered the standards to be compiled with the imported drugs, manufactured or sale, sold, stocked, or exhibit for sale or distributed. All the kind, whether it is sale, sold, stocked, or exhibit. The second schedule, everything second schedule will cover. Homeopathy medicines are covered under the schedule 4A. Now, the classes of drug. There are the drug classified into three parts. Drugs included in the HPI. HPI means Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia Laboratory or India. Drugs not included in HPL, but which are included in HPUS, that means Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia of United States, or the GHP, German Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia. Third one is the drugs not included in the HPI or HPUS or HP. Now, the drug which included in the HPI, now the standards to be compiled with. Number one is matched with this drug included in HPI. The HPI, the standards of identity, purity, strength of drug given in the HPI for the time being enforced, and such other standards may be prescribed. Now, drugs not included in the HPI but which are included in HPUS or a GHP, their standard to be compiled with the standard of identity, purity, strength prescribed for drugs in the edition of such pharmacopoeia for the time being in which they are given, and other such standards may be prescribed. Now, drugs not included in the HPI, HPUS or GHP, standards should be compiled with the formula or list of ingredients displayed in the prescribed manner or the label of the container, and such other standards may be prescribed by the central government. Now, so we have to understand certain definitions about misbranded drug, adulterated drug, and spurious drug. If you know that these labels, then further there is no any problem to understand my topic. Now, what are misbranded drugs? A drug shall be deemed to be misbranded. There are certain guidelines on the basis of which we can say the drug or the medicine is misbranded. False or misleading label. You cannot find the label or match the label with certain brands. The drug label or package contains false or misleading information regarding its composition, uses, dosage, or safety. So be sure, everybody in the practice, the students in future, they are going to prescribe medicines for the patient. So they have to know what are the misbranded drugs or what are the branded drugs. So the branded drugs are certified by the HPI, or misbranded drugs are not certified from any homeopathy pharmacopoeia laboratory. So this can include inaccurate claim about the drug's effectiveness or exaggerated therapeutic benefits. In India, there are so many fake brands, okay, which they, for sure they are telling that we are treating homeopathy medicine, use these medicines, but they are misleading label. They don't have any label and they don't have any therapeutic, effectiveness of that drug. Now, second, inadequate direction of for use. They even don't know how to direct patient the usage. Like in patents, everybody have seen the patent. Like I'll show you like this. This is a my screen. Everybody know that we have a patent. My photo is visible to all or not? Dr. Himani?
Yes, ma'am, we can see that.
You can see my the medicine which I have hold.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
So this is a medicine. This is a patent medicine. I am not showing that brand. Okay, this is a patent medicine. This is a brand which we have the written brand here. Okay, that I'm not showing the brand label. Okay, this is a Homeo liver tonic. Okay, here if we rotate that this medicine, here are certain guidelines to dosage, direction of the use. Here, the direction of usage should be mentioned, but in misbranded drugs, the direction of usage are not mentioned. Like for adults, for adults, one teaspoon 3 times a day. For for below 12 years of age, there are certain directions like you can use half teaspoon. Likewise, this is an example I'm telling you. In the inadequate direction for use, the misbranded drugs are not showing their how to direct the medicines. Now next, lack of required information. The drug does not include essential information required by a regulatory authority, such as the manufacturer's name and address. You can see this product here, manufacturer name and address is also mentioned here on the back. Okay, but on misbranded drug there is lack of required information. They just mention liver tonic. Okay, misbranded drug show liver tonic. And being a homeopath, being a professionalist, you have to understand what is a good quality of medicine or whether the bad quality of a misbranded drug. So name and address, the drug active ingredients. Basically ingredients जो है वो missing है. They are not fulfilling the ingredients. Warning about potential risk and side effects. Further, improper packaging. The packing is not proper. They are not packed in a manner that ensure its safety, integrity, and a proper storage. This can include issue like inadequate tamper, evident packaging, or incorrect container materials. Okay, most of the medicines are in homeopathy. Most of the medicines are packed in a glass bottle, in a good quality of plastic bottle. But somehow some misbranded dealers are using bad quality of plastic, and when we are using the medicine in a bad quality of plastic container, the medicine quality surely degrades. Now, failure to meet the GMP, that is good manufacturing practice. Everybody knows. For the starters, for the first year students, you have to learn what is the GMP. And for every homeopath, they have to understand what is the GMP. GMP is a good manufacturing practices. The drug was not manufactured in accordance with established good manufacturing practices, which are quality standard that ensure the safety, efficacy, quality of pharmaceutical product. Okay, in GMP, shortly I will tell you, like at every step, from the collecting of the medicine to the dispensing of the medicine, to the labeling of the medicine, at every step, the safety measures should be taken. Efficacy of measure should be taken. The quality of the product should be taken. And in which the medicines are prepared, the raw materials should be, safety check of the raw material should be taken, and the pharmaceutical products in which the pharmaceutical instruments should be cleaned, okay, should be autoclaved. So at every point, GMP should be followed by the manufacturer, but in misbranded drug or adulterated drug, they fail to meet good manufacturer practices. Now, last one is adulteration. In India, we are very good in adulteration, from food to cosmetic to drugs. Okay, so it is very important to understand what kind of adulteration should be done. The drug may be adulterated, meaning it contains impurities, contamination, or substance not listed on the label, which could pose health risks to consumers. So now here we go. Here we have spurious drug. Although I have told you about the spurious drug, now what is spurious drugs? Spurious drugs are counterfeit or fake pharmaceutical products. They are fake, that are designed to intimate genuine medication but not contain the correct active ingredients, may have incorrect dosage, or lack the quality and safety standards of legitimate drugs. These counterfeit drugs are often produced and distributed illegally. In India, most of the misbranded drugs are spurious drugs. Okay, they are fake pharmaceuticals. They don't follow any rules and regulations. They are illegally, they are banned. But in India, they were selling. They don't have any fear. Because in India, if we know what are spurious drugs, what are misbranded drugs, what are adulterated drugs, then only we can differentiate about these drugs. Okay, so it is very important for you all to understand some pharmaceutical, tips for some pharmaceuticals, guidelines, like drugs and cosmetic act. You have to learn about these acts so that you cannot be misled. So there are certain characters of spurious drugs which include inferior or no active ingredients. Like in Naxomica, the active ingredient is strychnine. Everybody knows strychnine is the active ingredient. But in Naxomica, if strychnine is missing, so how we can say that the medicine is Naxomica? Okay, so there is no any active ingredient in this spurious drug. They are making Nux vomica 30, Nux vomica 100, no, sorry, 30, 200, Nux vomica 50 millisimilar. Okay, and they were selling to the doctors, selling to the freshers, those who are, they are passing the, BHMS. Whenever they pass, they don't know which brand of medicine they have to buy. They are, come in like for a, for less, मतलब कम कम हमें मात्रा में, कम हमें उसमें हमें ये मेडिसिन कम मिलती है, जिसमें कि हमारा ज्यादा पैसा खर्चा नहीं होता है. ठीक है. So these so everybody have to understand what are the spurious drugs. So there are some incorrect dosage. Counterfeit drug may have incorrect dosage. They haven't mentioned the dosage, which I have already mentioned, which can lead to ineffective treatment, in some cases harmful side effects. So everybody should know, okay, what are the good branded drugs, what are the brands which are following the good guidelines of GMP, of HPI. Those who have manufactured under these guidelines, only those products should be used in the practice. Now, substandard manufacturing. Spurious drugs are often manufactured in unregulated or unstandard facilities without adhere to GMP, resulting in potential contamination or quality issue. If we are not following, if certain brands are not following GMP at certain period, their medicine will deteriorate and they are contaminated because they are not following the GMP rules. So it is very important, from the collection of the medicine to the packaging of the medicine, the GMP should be followed at every step, which is mentioned in HPI or in pharmacy books. Okay, so false packing and labeling. There is another point. Counterfeit drugs are typically packed and labeled to mimic legitimate pharmaceutical products, making it difficult for consumers or healthcare professionals to distinguish them from a genuine medication. Like misbranded drugs or fake drugs are making, substandard drugs are making same medicine with same bottle, same, everything is same. Slight difference is that with the name they are adding S or A in between the, I am holding, BGen medicine. Here is the BGen. Now the everything is same, but in the packaging, BGen, they have missing I. Okay, they have missing I, and the packaging is safe. Nobody is going to see the full name of that brand. Okay, everything will be same, but you got these medicines on 50 to 60% discount. Why? Because the medicine is substandard. These are not the same brand. So everybody have to read carefully the brand which they are taking. Okay, which brand they are prescribing to the patient. Next. Now, here we have the Drug and Cosmetic Act and rules. Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 as amended by the Drugs Amendment Act in 1955, the Drugs Amendment Act in 1960, the Drug Amendment in 1962, now like 64, 72. Later, the Drug and Cosmetic Act, the Drug Act converted into Drug and Cosmetic Act in 1972. Now it is now further amended by 1982, then 1986, then 1995, up to 30 April 2003. There are certain amendments we have to done, the amendment done by the government, like successive amendments were made in the act and rules there under from time to time to widen its scope conception, and purpose. The problem of adulteration of drugs and also of production of spurious and substandard drugs are posing serious threat to the health of the users. Okay, for time to time, the drug and cosmetic rules amendment should be done. Why? To stop these spurious, misbranded or substandard drugs, which are, destroying the health of the patients also. It is therefore essential to amend the act. इसलिए, that is why it is very important for the government to do that amendments to the act as to impose more strength penalties on the antisocial component indulging in the manufacture or sale of adulterated or spurious drug or drug not of standard quality. Now, the act consists of 5 chapters. Each chapter is related to a particular subject. Chapter 1, Introductory. Chapter 2, Drug Technical Advisory Board, Drug Consultative Committee, Center Drug Laboratory. Chapter 3, Import of Drugs and Cosmetics. Chapter 4, Manufacture, Sales and Distribution of Drug and Cosmetics. Chapter 5, Chapter T5A, Provision related to Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani drugs. Chapter 5, Miscellaneous. The rules of acts are divided in 23 different parts. Each part is related to a particular subject. Here I'm not elaborating the whole parts, which is we have limited time. So step by step we are going further and I am explaining you. Now part 6A, sale of homeopathy medicines. 6A, appointment of license authority. In this schedule, there is appointment of license authority. The state government shall appoint license authority for sale of homeopathy medicine in specified area. Next, the application for the grant or renewal of a license. Form 19B shall be made to the license authority with payment of rupees 250 if the applicant applied for the renewal license after its expiry, but within the 6 months, the fee payable of renewal license should be 250 in additional rupees 50 per month thereof. Damage or loss of license. So for the manufacturer, okay, for the dealer, it is very important to take these license, okay, for manufacturing or for selling of the homeopathy drugs. In part 6A, there is the license for selling of the homeopathy medicines. Now, if the license is damaged or loss of license, if original license either defaced, damage or loss, a duplicate copy may be issued or payment of rupees 50 to be taken. 67F, condition to be satisfied before a license in Form 20C or Form 20D is granted. 67G, condition of license. The premises where the homeopathy medicines are stocked for sales. Sale of homeopathy medicine shall be conducted under the supervision of competent person. The license shall permit an inspector to inspect the premises. It is very important for the inspectors to inspect the, the premises where they are selling the homeopathy drugs. The license in Form 20D shall maintain a record of purchase and sale of homeopathy medicine. The license shall maintain an inspection book, Form 35, to enable an inspector to record his impression. 67GG, additional information to be furnished by an applicant for license of a licensee to the licensing authority. There are certain, guidelines which we have to follow. 67H, cancellation or suspension of license. Here also, and any government can suspend anytime the license of the sale of the homeopathy drug. There are certain things on behalf of which the license is cancelled. The licensing authority may giving the license an opportunity to show cause why should the order not to be passed in writing stating the reasons. In license, a licensee whose license has been suspended or cancelled may within 3 months of the date or order under sub-rule 1 preferred and appeal against that order to the state government whose decision will be final. Now, part 8, a manufacturer for sale for distribution of homeopathy medicine. There are certain, rules for the manufacturer also, like part 85A, manufacture or more than one set of premises. 85B, application of license, like when we are applying for the rules which are followed in the sales of the homeopathy medicine, the same rules followed here also in the manufacturing or sale of the distribution of homeopathy medicines. License of manufacture homeopathy medicine shall be made in Form 24C. These are the certain things which we have to learn in our pathy. Fees of rupees 200, rupees 100 for the first inspection. 85C, application to manufacture new homeopathy medicine. No new homeopathy medicine shall be manufactured unless it is previous approved by license authority mentioned in Rule 25. कोई भी new drug is not manufactured, okay, rather it is not approved by certain Rule 21. While applying for a license to manufacture new homeopathy medicine, an applicant shall produce along with his or her application evidence that the new homeopathy medicine for which the application is made has already been approved. Rule 30AA. 85D, form of license to manufacture homeopathy medicine in Form 20C. 85E, condition for the grant of renewable license in Form 20C. Inspection before the grant of renewable license. 85EB, report by inspector. 85EC, grant or refusal of license. Every time, at every step, everything can happen. 85ED, further application after the rejection. 85EE, appeal to the state government. 85F, duration of the license. 85G, certificate of renewal, and 85H, condition of the license. These are certain guidelines mentioned in the rule book which we have to follow. 85HH, additional information to be furnished by an applicant for the license or licensee to the licensing authority. 85I, cancellation and suspension of the license. There are the guidelines in Part 6. There are guidelines for selling of homeopathy drugs. In Part 8, there are the conditions for the manufacturer of homeopathy drugs. Now, 9. A labeling packing of homeopathy medicines. Rule 106. No homeopathy medicine shall be important unless it is packed and labeled in conformity with Rule 9A, Rule 106. If this medicine which I am holding is not packed good, okay, if the packaging is not good, then there is no need to buy that medicine. There is no need to, that they are past the guidelines by the HPI. Okay, the packaging should be good in any way. Manner of labeling of homeopathy medicine. Now, the following shall be written or printed in inedible ink. Everything which is written in my hand, written in the edible ink. Okay. Now, the word homeopathy medicines should be written in a big manner, that you are giving every medicine should written that this is a homeopathy medicine. The name of the medicine which is prescribed in HPI, which is included in HPI, should be mentioned. Okay, like these. This is antimonium arnica montana 200. I am holding. Okay, you can see the big homeopathy medicine written here. It's a good label. That shows they follow a good labeling packing of homeopathy medicine, because here the homeopathy medicines, this for a layman person, they don't know. In our running practice, most of the patients come with these medicines like, doctor, please tell whether it is homeopathy or allopathy. We don't know, because the homeopathy medicine word is missing from that bottle. They are not following the actual guidelines followed by the by the HPI. So homeopathy medicine should be written, and the word like arnica montana, that included in HPI, should be mentioned. Everybody can see arnica montana should be mentioned on the bottle. Everybody seen? Now, the potency of homeopathy medicine shall be expressed in decimal centesimal scale. Everybody can see 200. The potency is also mentioned here, 200. Everybody can see arnica montana 200 the potency, whether it is 200, 30 or 50 millisiemen, the potency should be mentioned on the packaging of the drug. Name of the ingredient should be mentioned with proportion and potency. Like क्या क्या इसमें ingredients हैं वो सारे mention होने चाहिए. Like these have only arnica montana, or here we have drug which is liver tonic. Here we have mentioned the list of the ingredients. How many drugs are there in this bottle? They have to be mentioned in the good packaging labeling of the drug. In case of homeopathy medicine, contain alcohol. Content should be labeled by percentage, by volume in term of ethyl alcohol. See, like 90 volume by percent. Everybody can see. Here we have mentioned that how much alcohol content in this. 90 volume percent alcohol. Everybody can see. These are the, in the running practice, we don't see everything on the bottle. Okay. Now, we are prescribing medicine, being a doctor, being a pharmacist, they are the medicine we are prescribing, they are giving medicine, they are putting like arnica, they see arnica montana. Oh, wow. So I have to put like this in the bottle. They don't have read the full, information. For being a good doctor, being a good professionalist, you have to understand what should be written in that bottle. Okay, on a single bottle. So in our clinics, in our pathy, in our colleges, in our institution, there are so many medicines, and every medicine should follow good labeling under 9. So, okay, under rule 106A. Next, B part. In addition to the above particular, the label should display following, like batch number, lot number should be mentioned. Here we have one medicine. I'm seeing like this. Everybody can see batch number. Everybody can see batch number. My screen is visible to all.
Yeah, it's visible.
For good packaging, it is mandatory to have the batch number should be mentioned on the every bottle of homeopathy drug. In spurious drugs, in misbranded drug, all these things are missing. Okay. So next, manufacturer license number, the number being processed by the words manufacturing license number or magnified number should be mentioned. Here is the manufacturing date. Everybody can see. In a good bottle, manufacturing date should be mentioned. Or we can say in arnica montana also, manufacturing date 11/22, 2022. These are the basic guidelines which have to follow by the industry, or which have to follow by the doctor itself. If the batch number or lot number is missing, then you can reject those brand medicines easily. Okay. Now, this clause shall not apply to the homeopathy medicine tincture manufactured outside the India. These are not followed outside the India. Okay. In Indian, these things can be followed. Batch number or lot number or manufacturing number. Now, 106B, prohibition of quantity and percentage. Law. No homeopathy medicine containing more than 12% of alcohol. Volume by volume, ethyl alcohol shall be packed and sold in packing or bottle of more than 30 milliliter, except that it may be sold to the hospital dispensaries in packing bottle not more than 100 milliliters. Like, by the rule, in clinics, only 30 ml bottle should be sold. But everybody is using pond, 100 ml for, saving money. But these are not under guidelines. Those industries are not followed these guidelines. They are not, following the actual rule. Okay. Only more than 100 milliliter in hospitals and in big dispensaries should be distributed, not in a short scale homeopathy clinics. Now, next, there are certain guidelines for the ophthalmic preparation in homeopathy medicine, which comes under Schedule FF, Rule 126. Schedule FF, everybody is using Cineria. if we have conjunctivitis, if we have, cataract, if we have any, inflammation in the eye, if we have sty in the eye, every doctor prescribing Cineria. There we have Cineria drop like this. Okay, Cineria, Euphrasia. There are so many medicines in homeopathy which are used in ophthalmic preparation, that is used for eye drop. Ophthalmic preparations are eye drop. So for making an eye drop, for purchasing an eye drop, there are certain guidelines should be understood by the doctors or students itself. Now, Schedule FF Rule 126A, Standards for Ophthalmic Preparation. Part A, Ophthalmic Solution and Suspension. Now, we are reading about the suspensions and solutions. Ophthalmic solution suspension shall be sterile and sold in unopened container. Here we have, this is a bottle of, a brand, Euphrasia. I'm opening this drug. Okay, here is a bottle. I have this bottle. This bottle should be sterile because you have to put in your eye, and sold in unopened container. This container is locked. I cannot open this container. There is a seal in this container. Okay, the seal should be there while and wherever you are prescribing any eye, drop to the patient. Contain following stable substances to prevent the growth of the microorganisms. This has to be followed by the manufacturer also. Benzalconium chloride 0.01% should not be used in solution of nitrates or salicylates. Phenyl mercuric nitrate 0.001% and chlorobutanol 0.5%. Note, the solution used in surgeries not to have any preservative. These are the preservatives in this, in so many dosage. Okay, here we have so many dosage in one bottle, but in surgeries, some doctors are using single dose container, like we have only small bottle. Okay, and when the doctor is putting in the eye, the bottle is empty, single dose. In surgeries, there is no any preservatives, but for in clinics, in practice, in institutions, some institutions, they have to put this whole bottle, and certain preservatives should be added in these so that they can free from the microorganisms. Okay, now label. There are certain labels should be written on the ophthalmic preparations, like use the solution within 1 month after the opening. Every homeopathy medicines should mention here. Okay, use the solution within the 1 month after opening the container. Name and concentration of the preservative. The word not for injection should be mentioned on this bottle. Everything should have, because we have so many patients though in our from that area, they don't understand Hindi, they don't understand English also, they have their local language. So it is very important that they have to be cleared about the how to use these medicines. Okay, not for injection. External application should be written. Here I can show you for external use only. You can see here very small likha hua hai. You cannot read, but at every homeopathy ophthalmic preparation, it should be written for external use only, and for not for injection should be written in big capital words in every ophthalmic preparations. And dosage is also mentioned here. Put 1-2 drop 3 times or 2 times a day. Everything should be mentioned in every ophthalmic preparation. And note down on which these words are not written, they are fake drugs, like not for injection. No, subordinate brand, not a same brand. Now, there are certain warning should be contain or a container or the cartoon or a leaflet. Here we have three things: a container, a cartoon, or a leaflet Everything should be mentioned in this leaflet. Warning should be mentioned in the leaflet. Okay. Now, for the person or the patient, if irritation persists or increases, discontinue the use. You cannot use that medicine and consult the physician immediately. Next, do not touch the dropper tip. I don't have, anything. I don't have open bottle. I'm opening this bottle, okay? Like I'm opening this seal. You heard that seal opening, and here is the tip. Do not touch the dropper tip or other dispensing tip for any surface, since this may contaminate solutions. You don't have to touch that tip. Okay, after opening, you don't have to touch that tip, just put it in your eyes by the direction how to use. Okay, you have to tell every patient these directions while selling these ophthalmic preparations. Okay, now part B, ophthalmic ointment. Ophthalmic ointment shall be sterilized. Likewise, there are certain ointments in homeopathy. They should be sterile and dispensed. They should be sold on unopened container, free from foreign particles. And warning, if irritation persists or increases, discontinue the use and consult the physician, should be mentioned. Okay, so here we have a topic about Drugs and Cosmetic Act. Thank you so much. If any person, any student, anyone have any query regarding my topic, can ask.
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Most welcome.
for a wonderful session. So, and as we come to the end of this informative and engaging webinar on this pharmacy and amazing topic, I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for being a part of this incredible webinar. So, first of all, we are going to take the questions. So, ma'am, we have some questions in the chat box, and I can bring that up. Okay, there is one question, that is there any authority who is taking care of all of these rules and regulations
Yeah.
for
There are,
homeopathic
yeah, there
pharmacies?
is HPI. There is HPI, Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia Laboratory. Every, industry, every, manufacturer, if they are, they have to make any medicine, they have to give to the passed through by HPI. The drug should be quality checked by the HPI. Okay, they have HPI is open for everyone can apply that drug for the quality check, for the standard check by the HPI, which is situated in the Ghaziabad itself. Okay, so there are so many authorities who are taking care of these, like drug inspectors have visit in your monthly, 3 monthly or quarterly or once in a year. Every drug inspector have to visit. If you have any drug which is expired, okay, and you have, if you are putting in on your table, that should not be done by you. Okay, that the drug should be discarded by you. So if you are not doing that, or if any like a manufacturer is not doing that, then the inspector should take an action. They have to further should cancel their license for selling the drugs. That's why I am discussing about all these rules about selling the drug, homeopathic drugs, and manufacturing of these drugs.
Thank you, ma'am, for this amazing answer. So, is there any question, any query you want to ask, ma'am? So, just post that in the chat box, or you can simply ask. Let us know.
cover. There are so many topics, in pharmacy which we have to discuss, and there is no limitation of time because we have limited time here. So we have to end up like situation. If we start another topic, that it will take another 1.5 hour to explain me for these. Okay, so it is
And
very for you all, for students also, to understand the pharmacy as well. Okay, this is not a first year subject. Okay, this you have to learn in your whole practice.